I have a question about how do you rank or prioritize potential AI ideas before investing in building them? So how do you kind of, let's say, weigh the benefits from reducing a particular kind of friction and sort of balance that with the cost of the technological solution for that reduction? And how do you pick, which hill to climb?
I would say three things. Number one, cost should be a concern, but not the only concern. The reason I'm saying that is the reason I'm kind of talking about cost is like, as an entrepreneur, sometimes that is the first thing that, I mean, not sometimes, all the time, that is the first thing that always comes to mind. But remember, these things are also kind of coming down in terms of costs. I would say the cost of running an LLM model today is like one-fifth of what it was even 6 months ago, 7 months ago. So remember to take that into consideration in any of your kind of calculations because tech tends to go down in terms of cost, and then but the benefits of something goes up. So it's like an inverted curve. One is going down, which is the cost, and then this benefit is going up. So I would kind of argue to have that in perspective. That's number one. And number two is, again, this is not a Gen AI thing. In general, I do talk to a lot of entrepreneurs from my both Harvard and then Cornell networks. And one thing I always tell people is forget Gen AI, forget AI, forget ML. In general, you need to have a value system in terms of you need to have some kind of framework to measure the value of some activity that you're doing that is going to help your customers, right? So you don't need to have like an AI specific way of measuring things. You don't need to have like an ML way of measuring things or an engineering way of measuring things. In general, it is okay even to have a very simple framework that applies to all your initiatives, not just Gen AI initiatives, not just engineering initiatives. It could be even as simple as partnerships. So if you have some type of a generic mental model or a framework to kind of work through these things, it could be, it doesn't need to be a very sophisticated model. But if you have a general framework that can kind of apply for most of the things that you do, engineering, product, partnerships, or whatnot. It'll help you to kind of crystallize few things. Otherwise, you're like a kid in the candy store. There's multiple things going on. You'll never know which one to focus on. You'll be all over the place, which is also not a great place to be in. So that is the second thing. And then the third thing is discipline. Once you have kind of like, had some kind of framework to kind of prioritize your thing, um, just stick with it. Because if you're not going to stick with it, then the problem is going to be you can never make a decision. And then people around you also think about just as not you. You have an ecosystem around you, early employees, product managers, early engineers, your early customers. If you flip-flop in your decisions, then it is going to affect their thinking as well. If there is a pivot, yeah, by all means, we should kind of pivot whenever something is not working. But that pivot should be transparent as well. So these are the three things I would kind of that comes straight to my mind. Number one is cost versus benefits are sometimes completely different curves. One is going up, another is coming down. Iteratively, as you try, the benefits might be more, the cost might be coming down. The second thing is always be very clear about your decision-making framework in terms of how do you kind of prioritize decisions. And then third, be transparent for all your partners and then people who work with you, around you, so that they are not confused. If there's a pivot, be very transparent about why something is not working and then why you want to pivot to make it work better.